The classification of subterranean is being, lying, or operating under the surface of the earth, or existing in secret, so saying that there are countless SCPs that either operate underground or are lying dormant without our current knowledge. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary subterranean SCP monsters. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at 5, SCP-2135. 2135 is the former 91st Street Station, a station of the New York City subway system located in Manhattan. Prior to its closure in February 1959, SCP-2135 was served by the 1 and 2 trains of the IRT Broadway, 7th Avenue line, bounded by the 96th Street Station to the north and the 86th Street Station to the south. 2135 was closed after platform expansion on the 96th Street Station rendered it impractical to continue servicing it. 2135's anomalous properties manifest twice a week at unpredictable intervals. Now during this time a train car, 2135A, will stop at the station for 15 seconds. 2135A is only perceivable to those standing on the subway platform at the time it arrives. Non-anomalous trains in service will pass right through it as if it were not there, and passengers on those trains are unable to see it. Now should any person board the train during this time, they will remain in a state of transit for 15 minutes and will be unable to exit the train. After 15 minutes the train will come to a halt and the subjects will arrive within SCP-2135-B. 2135-B is a replica of the island of Manhattan as it appeared on February 1st, 1959. After 24 hours have passed within 2135-B, the 91st Street Station will be closed and subjects will be unable to leave. As 2135 is located in a highly trafficked area, isolated containment is not feasible at the time. Coming in at number 4, SCP-1628. 1628 is a life-sized model of Washington DC as it appeared at an unknown time. It is not to scale, with many historically significant buildings clustered in the center and most other buildings being painted wooden blocks. The reproductions of historically significant structures are constructed from brass. The entrance to 1628 is located in an abandoned salt mine, with subjects entering a storage tunnel emerging from the reproduction of the Washington Monument. Entities living within 1628 are brass and iron humanoids, numbering 123. There appear to be only 9 individual models for these humanoids, set in exactly 11 sets. These humanoids are capable of communicating with outside people while in an active state, but will primarily speak in preset phrases, with communication not fitting these phrases being ignored. Once every 12 hours, all entities within 1628 will activate and begin moving through a set of activities, roughly following the events of the sacking of Washington, D.C. during the War of 1812. Area 1628 has been set up to contain 1628's entrance, constructed under the pretense of a Foundation front company. Entry to 1628 is permitted only during its active phase and is limited to personnel on exploratory expeditions. Communication with the beings within 1628 has shown that they are hostile only when provoked, and as such personnel are reminded to move with 1628's scheduled activity until it reaches an inactive state. Coming in at number 3, SCP-1395. 1395 is a cave located in Greece. Carbon dating of human remains and artifacts present within the cave suggest human habitation began sometime around BCE, which is consistent with 1395-A's claimed history. SCP-1395 anomalous properties manifest when people travel 300 meters inside the cave. Now after reaching this point, 1395-A will manifest, blocking the path that leads deeper into the cave. 1395-A is a humanoid entity, appearing to people as a silhouetted apparition. Now although it does not forcefully impede any attempts to leave the cave, many people who encounter the entity report a strong desire to stay within its presence. If approached by a person or group of people, 1395-A will engage with the subject in conversation, appearing to derive pleasure from describing and recounting its life. Following the encounter with the entity, 1395-A will demanifest, erasing all memories of the encounter from the person's mind. Foundation agents are currently working with the governments of Greece and the European Union to suppress public knowledge of 1395. A barbed wire fence has been erected to prevent unauthorized access to 1395. Coming in at number 2, SCP-1193. 1193-01 is a genetically normal human arm of unusual length, located in a drainage pipe inside the basement of a telephone switching station in Scottsdale, Arizona. 10 centimeters below the drainage grate, the arm terminates in an unremarkable human hand of indeterminate gender. Upon initial examination, the arm was believed believed to extend through the drainage pipe to a depth of 35 meters. SCP-1193-02 is a GPO-746 telephone, topaz yellow, which is used to communicate with 1193-01. Between 8:38 and 10:34 each weekday, the phone will ring 5 times. If answered, an unidentified voice will willingly engage in conversation with SCP personnel. The voice on the other end of the line invariably claims to be a human being and regularly mistakes the individual on the other end of the phone for an authority figure. Interrogation to date has therefore been relatively uncomplicated. The borehole containing 1193-01 is to be capped with a tungsten steel grate containing a locking 2.5 cm endoscopy aperture. At 48-hour intervals, the borehole is to be endoscopically inspected to a depth of 4 km for further manifestations of 1193-01. The basement containing 1193 is to be monitored at all times by Foundation interrogator. And finally, coming in at number 1, SCP-052. 052 is a Type R4 New York City subway train. Official records indicate the train was built in 1932 and decommissioned for scrap in 1975. Nevertheless, it continues to appear on the Uptown A/D track at the 59th Street and 8th Avenue station at 11:57 p.m. every Saturday. The train itself is in perfect condition and labeled as an A train. 052 appears at the designated time, opens its doors to accept/discharge passengers for approximately 5 minutes, then closes its doors and disappears. It does not appear to ever contain passengers except for those leaving the train during its appearance. The majority of people that have boarded the train have not been recovered. Passengers leaving 052 claim to have boarded on various dates, from 1976 up to 2204. The latter claims he thought 052 was a 300th anniversary special train. Subjects always return with no knowledge of time on board. Although it is not possible to remove 052 from the New York City subway system, its predictable behavior allows the Foundation to prevent the public from encountering it. The 59th Street A/B/C/D station is to be closed to the public from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays under the pretext of track maintenance. During that time, the station is to be staffed with agents from Mobile Task Force Gamma 6. Agents have been ordered to prevent accidental public access to the station and to capture anyone seen leaving 052. Anyone who has been on 052 must be transported to Site 21 for debriefing and processing. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any subterranean SCPs that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 greatest horror movies nobody watched, part 3. Wobbly Williams said the bloopers are funny but no one should laugh at Queen Lucy. I mean it, never ever laugh at Queen Lucy. Yeah, don't laugh at me. It's not going to end well if you laugh at me. Rainy P said, Lucy, you're so amazing, your videos are so well done, thanks for bringing intellect and class to these channels. Thank you, that's very sweet, no one has ever said that in classy, so I appreciate that. DVCA said, your hair looks like a drugged octopus moving around on the back of your head. I didn't believe you until I went back and I looked at that video and it indeed did look like a drugged octopus, so respect, well done. That's probably my favourite comment. Tofu said, horror moves. Yes, the title was fucked up. We changed it, it's now horror movies, but thank you all for commenting the same thing. I appreciate it. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.